call-in number is 347-637-3537. If you guys want to join in the conversation, I'm going to dip into the phone lines, and I am coming back to you in a minute, Trent. Let's see, area code. Ooh, these are fun area codes. Area code 904. 904. You are live on No Cut Cars with 6ix9ine. What's your name and where you calling from?
Nikki calling from Jacksonville, Florida.
Nikki from Jacksonville, Florida. What's going on, Nikki?
Well, first of all, I hear a lot of back and forth about what a woman should do or what a man should do. And I think the key to what I'm hearing, you're feeling that we as women are missing. And I'm not going to say just black women because I don't think this is isolated to a race in itself, but is communication. If those are the things that you expect from the person that you get with, then those things need to be communicated, and women need to stand up and at least say that that's something that they can accept, or if they can't. And that's where the strong, independent woman needs to come in, because you can't expect anything from anyone, but you can accept the things that you're willing to take on in a relationship.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, that sounded that was well thought out, well put out there. I applaud you, Nikki. I'm applauding. But I have a question.
Sure.
All right. Communication, that's key. Let's see. Nikki, strong and independent. What the hell does that have to do with taking a step back into the left and serving your man and stop being the loud, braggadocious, obnoxious, typical sister girl, and learning how to treat men better so that they will want to stay in a relationship with sisters?
Because a strong and independent woman would already have her guides and her morals on where she would like to be in life. And she wouldn't have to waste her time and energy on someone that wouldn't accept the things in the way she wants to be treated in her relationship. So it has a lot to do with how you're going to continue, what type of men you do pursue. Because there are plenty of women out there that would love to, like you said, sit there and let you call them and say, heifer, bring me my beer. But then guess what? You'll turn around and get mad when that lazy one doesn't want to work, and you'll say, I pay the light bill, but she don't want to work. She doesn't want to do this. But yet you want that same person to accept those types of, requests from you as a man.
Well, don't you think that that's a man's place in the household? Let's assume that you have a good man, a real man that's doing what he's supposed to do. For the rest of this conversation, let's everybody assume that. Real solid dude. Is there something wrong with serving your man?
There's nothing wrong with having an equal. And if you're talking in which type of relationship, are we speaking of a girlfriend and boyfriend? Are we speaking of a husband and wife? Because if you have a husband and a wife relationship and you're living together, hopefully God is at the head of that relationship, which those things will come easy by the woman or the man. And it won't feel as if you're doing too much or too less, because you will love each other with a different type of spirit.
Oh, Lord. Okay, you're saying that God is going to make sisters act right. I know so many church sisters that sit over there. They in church, first ladies even, and they leave church. They do the whole holier than thou, sitting in the front pew, letting everybody come up and pay homage, and then they go home and they're just in their man's ear, just nagging. And
unfortunately, you're gonna assume that every church Christian woman is that way, which is just as ignorant as every person feels that a black person with dreads is not educated. So that assumption that is being made cannot be fairly, put across for every Christian woman. Let's talk about the Christian woman that you know. How do we always know the bad ones? Well, why are you with the bad ones to know they're bad? How about go hang around the good ones that have been with their men and their men are together?
Oh, see, now you're trying to change the whole, feel of the conversation, because you really don't want me to go there about Christians and, them wanting to beat everybody over the head with the Bible, because all the Bible is a control mechanism. I believe that God wants us to just love each other and treat us right. All the other little itty-bitty stuff is just blurry words that men put in there.
Well, you asked the question, and I explained to you how I felt, so we can agree to disagree.
And then we can. Now, if I am a man and I have God in my life and I'm following God and I have direction, and back in the days, that meant something. I will go with your premise. Back in the days, that meant something. Men would go to church. They were devout Christians. They would do what they're supposed to. They're doing their work, and their women would serve them without a qualm, no back talk. Or if there was, and the woman voiced a concern and everything, they took it away from family, away from the kids, and she said, look, honey, I think this is a bad idea. Nowadays, sisters want to fight you for the pants, to wear the pants in the families. And I hate to say it, but I've talked to a lot of brothers that have decided, you know what, I will go date a white woman because at least if I've made it and I have a stable job and I'm doing the right thing, the last thing I want to come home to is a bunch of strife and grief.
Well, if they want to end up like Tiger Woods, go ahead. But anyways, that's on a whole nother level. That's on a whole nother level because, like I said, a woman is a woman.
What you say, Black Crow?
I say now, automatically, of course, if you date a white woman, you're going to cheat on her and she's going to beat you over the head with a golf club. I mean,
yeah,
well,
I know.
But for you to,
that women use. I call it the Matrix dodge.
Hey, can I ask
hey, we could go back to OJ. So however you want to take it, those are the people.
Go ahead, let her answer, and then I'll get back to you, Black Crow. Go ahead.
All right.
Those are the people that have unfortunately have put on public view what it seems to be to have this white woman that they feel is supposed to be so fabulous, so glorious. If you watch enough public reality TV, which is out there now, white women who are married are no different than black women.
Oh,
it depends on the ones that you get.
Hey, you can't come on my show talking about good white people like that. What's wrong with you? Just messing with you. Go ahead.
But I want to ask both of the sisters on the line a question. Why are black women the only women or only race of women that seem to always need to declare their independence to everybody?
Okay, can I ask you one question? What statistic do you have and what numbers do you have to validate your question, first of all?
Well, let me finish. I've never heard any white woman say, I'm a strong, independent white woman. I've never heard the phrase, I'm a strong, independent Hispanic woman. I've never heard the phrase, I'm a strong, independent Asian woman. But I've heard if I had a nickel for every... Huh?
I'm a diva.
Yeah, diva. Yeah, I'm a queen. I'm a top bitch.
Unless they are a diva. Yeah.
Right. I never hear that, at least not as much from other races of women as I do sisters. But it seems like black women always have a major need to declare their independence. And by obviously we know if you're independent, that basically means you don't need anything or anyone. You are self-sufficient. So why do women seem to want to ostracize themselves or always have to declare that they don't need anything or anyone, but then get mad or are concerned when they can't find a husband or say they can't find a man?
Trent, you want to answer or you want me to?
You can answer first.
Well, personally, I do agree with what you're saying because I went through that situation where I felt I was such an independent woman to where I was too stupid to realize what I deserved from a man. There's a difference between standing your ground and saying you're an independent woman and, yes, I pay my bills, but that doesn't mean I don't deserve a man who is equal to me to say, hey, I want to take you out on a nice date, or hey, I want to treat you correct, or, I see your nails may need to be done. I know you're independent, but I can do this for you. So there are a lot of women that, unfortunately, we do use the independent title because we're embarrassed because we have no choice but to sometimes be overly independent. When you have that father who doesn't pay his bills or, tells you he loves you but isn't keeping it real that all he wanted from the beginning was a fuck, and he pretends that, hey, now I'm going to be your, man, get you pregnant, then they go to jail or they do whatever else and they're just not in the picture.
Oh, come on now. No, you didn't
it's
go
the
there.
Truth.
And wait a minute though, and just because you're how about this? This would help the whole black community. How about all black women don't get pregnant by no man that's not your husband? Wait till you get married and then get pregnant. That would cut down on the wedlock birth.
And here you go. I'm gonna dive into this one, and since y'all want to go there, sisters want to always. You guys have a lot of choices. What I say is, the whole black women ain't shit. You guys have all the power when it comes to relationships for the most part. You choose who you want to sleep with, who you want to date. The only thing that finally happens is the men get a choice is we decide we break down and we put our knee down and say, I want you to be my wife. But you have all these choices. You get with a man. You sleep with him. You guys, you both make a choice not to use protection, or the condom breaks, or whatever happens. The woman gets pregnant, and this is a lot of sisters out there, and everybody knows this story. The woman gets pregnant. The guy says, I'm not ready to be a father. I don't want to have this child. The woman says, well, I'm ready to be a mother. I'm having it. She has the baby. Next thing you know, the dude who said he wasn't ready, if he doesn't pay child support and he's caught up in the legal system, all of a sudden he's a deadbeat. He's a horrible father. He's all of these negative things. He's now caught up in the legal system, going to jail, because sisters always want to say brothers go to jail all the time. Most of the time, let's see, I think it was, I'm going to find the statistic later, but I think it's somewhere in the 40% range, brothers go to jail because sisters send them there.
But did that brother not have a choice? Did that brother have a choice whether to use a condom?
No, he had a choice. You're saying, he could have used a condom. The woman could have made him use a condom.
Well, and here's what
why does an independent woman have to make a man use a condom? Now, if you want us to be strong or you don't want us to be strong.
Right? It's her body. No, let me finish, Black Crow. Let me finish. I'm going to go there. It's her body. She made the choice. Okay, yeah, I'm spreading my legs. They're both adults.
And it's his debt.
We're not talking about rape.
And it's his obligation.
And when it comes to,
I'm glad you agree with that. Now, I'm going to take the scenario one step further. The woman gets pregnant. The man says, you know what, I'm excited. I want to have this child. The woman says, I'm not ready to be a mother. I have things I want to do. She goes and has an abortion. She kills the baby. Nobody says she's a baby-killing whore, that shouldn't have gotten pregnant. Nobody says that she's a horrible person. Nobody says she doesn't deserve to be a mother. I'm saying society in general. We're not going to get specific, but society in general basically condones it. But the man doesn't get any kind of, grievance, because men, we start loving our children with the idea. Women start loving the children after you've carried it for 9 months and you've birthed it. Men start loving at the idea of our child coming into this world. So a man says, I'm not ready. He's being honest. And a woman just says, well, I'm sorry, I am. You should have thought about that before you got me pregnant now. You need to pay me, and you need to take care of this baby. A woman says, I'm not ready, gets to walk away scot-free. You guys have all the choices, and then you want to blame us for these horrible, ill-mannered, foul-mouthed, ill-tempered, if you want to say gay, if you want, whatever the problems are, these children are products of you, black women, raising them incorrectly, and then you want to blame it because the man isn't there. No, the blame lies with you. You made a bad decision.
But 6ix9ine, let's keep it real. 6ix9ine, keep it real though. How many men actually come back and say, "Oh, I'm not ready"? No. Do you know what they want to say? They say, "That ain't my baby. Hey, that ain't none of my baby."
Now, yeah.
Go ahead, man.
This is what I was going to say. The only problem I have with this, though, is that women are in a 100% complete control of when and how a man has sex. So if a man, I can want to have sex with you as much as I want to, but if you say no because I'm not attractive, you don't like the way I look, smell, whatever, I don't make enough money, I can't get any sex with you. Unless I forcibly take it from you, I cannot get sex from you. So women are 100% control of how a man gets sex. So if a man is coming up to you, he wants to have sex with you, and he doesn't have a condom on, it's your right to say no, don't have sex with him. Or tell him to go to the store and get a condom or put a condom on. To me,
I'm good. Hold on, guys.
I was just going to say,
other people that want to get at. I'm going to let you finish. Go ahead.
Yeah, but women are in total control of sex. So to me, that's why women get most of the blame when they get pregnant, because all a woman has to do is say no, and that's a wrap. Unless a man tries to force himself on you, there's nothing he can do.
Nikki, do you agree with that?
I mean, it seems like I'm not going to be able to get you all to understand that that's an equal decision. It's an equal decision.
How?
That's what black women always say.
His sexual organs should not go in me if he's not ready to take on the risk just as much as I should not allow him to go into me if I'm not willing to take on the responsibility.
But
it's a maturity
The
thing.
final decision is the woman, so every time. The final decision on whether that man has sex with you is the woman.
And you know what, though? If like you said, and I know 6ix9ine said you didn't want to bring religion into it, but these problems would not be an issue if there was not premarital sex. But some women, unfortunately...
Warhammer in the chat room said, rape is a crime. A paternity fraud isn't. Good one, Warhammer. All right, guys, I need to bring a couple other folks back in. I'm going to bring you back in. Just hang tight with me for a second. Let's see. We're going to go to area code 404 down in the ATL. Area code 404. You are live on No Cut Cards with 6ix9ine. What's your name and where you call? Well, we know where you're calling from.
This is Jolly. How you doing? Great evening.
Hey, what's going on, Jolly? How you doing, sweetie? Thank
I was
you for
doing fine
again.
till I started listening to some of the garbage coming out of y'all's mouth tonight.
Coming garbage. Okay, go ahead, girl.
Y'all got me fired up.
Okay, well, go ahead and be fired up, Miss Angry Black Woman. Show us the black women are something more than shit.
Well, first of all,
are we saying anything that's incorrect?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. You are wrong from the beginning. Men who play the victim are so ridiculous. Don't nullify your own actions and then sit there and what you sound like you are doing is you are bitching because a woman responded to your funky ass. Oh, I know that I fucked her raw without a condom, but my take on it is she should have made me wear a condom. Nigga, if you weren't ready to have a child, why didn't you have, excuse me, wait a minute, excuse me, bruh. She may have a final fucking decision, but you also have your own fucking decision. Don't decide not to wear a condom and then bitch because she got pregnant because she also decided not to wear a condom. You should have came to the fucking table with a condom if you don't want a fucking kid. That's what your decision is.
Trying to trap somebody. Damn it, she should have stopped trying to trap somebody into having her child and whatnot and paying for her to sit on her fat ass and, wanting to live the life of luxury off of somebody else's time.
This victim mentality is not going to work. Stop bitching and crying, acting like you didn't do anything.
Wait. No. See, this is what I'm talking about. Sisters want to sit there and they want to act like it's a man's fault. Sorry.
No, you're the one blaming.
Hey, damn, I am so sorry. We just had technical difficulties with Jolly's microphone. I'm going to get her back on in a minute, but, I'm going to keep working on it. I have my engineers working on it. We'll get you right back, Jolly. But while I have this moment where I got a black woman hushed up for a second, what I'm going to say is this. Black women can sit there and be on birth control. You have all the choices. My man Black Crow said the same thing. You had the choice, you had the control, you had the power and all this kind of stuff, and stop trying to put it back on black men. Sorry, sisters need to step up to the plate and learn that, look, y'all are making, I'll say it the way I mean it, y'all are making fucked up choices in the men that you choose to lay down to, and then you're sitting over there blaming the world that you made a fucked up choice. It's not their fault. You made that choice. You had the control. Now, I think we have Jolly back on the line. Jolly, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it's not a man being a victim. It's a man sitting over here. I am telling black women, look, you guys are just as culpable. We're not talking about all the things that black men have done wrong over the years. You can go all over Blog Talk Radio, anywhere else. You can see it on the TV shows. Oprah is singing you guys' praises left and right. Here, you're going to get a dose of reality in a mirror held up in front of you. You could be on birth control. You could be on an IUD. You could be using, lotions or the sponge or 15 million ways to control that. But you, women, will sit there and you'll be greedy and selfish and you decide you're ready to have a baby and think, if you're ready to have a baby, be ready to raise that motherfucker by yourself. Unless you have a man that's sitting there saying, yes, I am ready with you. Don't try and force men into relationships or into financially supporting you based on your wants, your selfish wants, because you're not thinking about anybody but yourselves when you sit there and have a child out of wedlock and try and force a dude into being financially responsible and emotionally responsible for a child that he said he was not ready for.
Can I ask you a question?
That's some ignorant bull. Go ahead, baby.
Question? Who was and I agree with what you're saying, but what you're saying is slightly different from what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the woman who's not on birth control, the women who are not on any birth control, and will let a man have sex with her without a condom and nut inside her is clearly ready to have a child, okay? So she's made the decision. You're right. She's made the decision she wants to have a child. But she can only get the man to impregnate her if he's willing.
Mm-hmm.
So if your decision is you don't want to have a child, then by all means don't put yourself in a situation where your parenthood is in somebody else's hands.
Wait. Why do we have to sit here and do that? Why can't black women just step up to the plate and realize that they're making dumbass choices and stop doing it?
Why do you have? Did you just ask why do you have to be responsible? That was kind of weird.
Why do we have to be responsible for your dumb choices? Why do we have to be the ones that hold? Because, all right, women always say we're the backbone of society. Basically, you're saying you're not, and we are. So we have to sit over there and keep your dumb asses from making silly choices about, the men you want to do. So it's all on us is what you're saying.
And can I say something else to her?
Go for it.
A lot of women, she says, obviously she's ready to have a child. I would say that's not the case either, because if that was the case, all these women, these 70% of kids that are born out of wedlock, wouldn't be crying about deadbeat daddies, because if they are ready to have the child, that means financially they're ready, emotionally they're ready, and they don't even need the dad. If they are ready to have the child, they don't even.
They're strong and independent.
Right, yeah, it shouldn't even matter if the dude wants to be in the picture or not. She's ready to have the baby. If he is or isn't, that.
Huh, Vinny?
What?
They are.
I'm sorry?
When they say 401, then you know.
Yeah, I want to get on that motherfucker.
Area code 401. You are on already. What the hell you got to say? What's your name and where you calling from, 401?
This is Faye, Mr. 6'9", okay? And you guys are talking a lot of yin-yang.
What's your name?
Faye.
Faye. Where you calling from, 401?
I'm calling from Rhode Island.
See, I done went and snuck you because I'm sitting over there. Yeah, everybody heard you sitting over there. Well, I want him to get on. You are on the air with 6'9". This is no cut card. What? What happened?
You guys, go ahead, Vinny. That's my cousin. She's from Jacksonville, Florida. We on this. We coming out deep after y'all.
Oh, they tag teaming.
Yeah.
Well, I keep the black crow on. I need some male support here and everything.
Hey, man, I'm coming off the top rope.
Looks like you already got it. I heard y'all ganging up on that girl. Y'all ain't right.
No, we're not ganging up on women. Stop being punks. Y'all want to sit there and say you're strong and independent. Wait, hush. Hush, woman. A man's talking. Y'all want to say that you're strong and independent. Don't make me have technical difficulties with your mic. I'll let you talk in a second. You want to say that you're strong and independent, but the only thing you're doing is you're being strongly disagreeable, and you're strongly sitting over there trying to defend an indefensible position. You're sitting there saying that it's a man's fault all the damn time. Own that shit for yourselves. I'm not attacking one person. I'm attacking sisters as in a whole, all the gold diggers, all the lazy asses, all the bitter bitches that is parked on Bitter Bitch Boulevard that are sitting over there.
Ain't none of them.
Hey, we're talking about in general, because this is what black men sit and talk about.
Hey,
just like y'all that have us sit and talk about, hey, I didn't give you permission to speak yet. Y'all sit and talk about, oh, he did this to me, girl. Oh, you need to go after his money, girl. All these other things.
I love what's going on.
We're like, damn, man, why do we have to go through all this when if women have all this control, why don't they utilize it and make better choices? Why can't you make better choices?
Hey, guess what?
I make a better choice, honey. I can hold down my own. I have my own home, 3 cars. I can hold down my own. Trust and believe that.
We're not talking about holding on to anything. We're talking about sex. When 2 people engage into sex.
Yeah, when 2 people engage in sex, there are 2 responsible adults there and everything. If then fine. If that's the case, if you get pregnant and I say I'm not ready, then you should have to have an abortion, right?
That's bullshit.
We're not both consenting.
That's bullshit.
Okay, then you should have the baby and raise it by yourself, right?
No, I'm married. My husband, I got mine. And I have 4 boys, and I teach them what's right, what's wrong, and what's choices. Okay? Wear a condom if you don't want no children. You can't rely on nobody to be responsible for you. And accidents do happen.
All right. See, you know what? You guys are still going down this same road and everything. How about you choose a better dude and you talk about it beforehand? And if he says, I am not ready to be a father, you take that to the bank, close up the legs, stop being hookers and laying on your back, and You might get a man that wants to take care of you and them kids because men are protectors and providers, and that's what we're here for. Now, I got to take a quick break. I'm going to come back in a minute, and I'm going to let you guys back in. I have about 10, 15 other people that want to get in the conversation. I'm going to get to you guys. Bear with me. We're going to get to it in a minute. You are listening to No Cut Cards. The call-in number is 347-637-3537. I want one of y'all heifers to call in here with some sense, because I'm tired of going back and forth over the same stuff with this Matrix dodge, trying to put it on black men. This is why we're saying that y'all ain't shit, because you're doing the same stuff, and sorry, 6ix9ine doesn't back down from this mess. We'll be right back. You are listening to No Cut Cards. This is your host, Jason 6ix9ine Barnes, and today is January the 10th, 2010. New year, new attitude, new topics, and the same old shit from my audience. For real. All right, we done got the, BB Boulevard chicks, and in case y'all don't know me from Facebook, that means Bitter Bitch Boulevard. We done got a couple of those. What we really want to look at is women out here, you don't really respect men anymore. You think you can do everything on your own, and you're doing everything poorly. You're raising these children by yourselves, and because the outcome is poor for the most part, we have record numbers of children going to jail under the age of 18 and everything. They're ill-mannered. I can't even get a sir or a ma'am out of a lot of these little ignorant knuckleheads running around here. And those are the basic things that all of us were taught when we were coming up. And I'm sorry, if you don't have your kids, Miss Single Mom or Single Dad, if you don't have your kids saying sir and ma'am to strangers and respecting their elders, you're fucking up and you don't deserve to be a parent. You need help. So how about that? If you want to be strong and independent and doing everything, why don't you raise some children with some respect? Yeah, I'm going to have a couple call in and say, you know what, I do, but I'm sorry. Everybody's not raising their kids right because your little boy just sat over there and dinged up my Benz and whatnot, and then you're going to get an attitude. You need to let the neighbors whoop his ass. You need to whoop his ass, then come around down the street and whoop his ass some more so these kids can get a clue, learn some respect. Sorry, sisters, y'all are really falling off and everything. I had a user in the chat room saying, oh, we're queens and you can't deal with our power and our authority. Sisters were queens at one time. I keep using past tense. There are still some out there. There are some sisters out there that are doing the damn thing and that are full of love, but I think you guys have lost track of what you're supposed to be. Nurturers. The helpmeet, if you want to go biblical, where you're supposed to be helping your man, following. And here, I'm going to say it, and I know y'all going to get all upset and everything. Y'all need to learn how to submit. When a brother's doing the right thing, you need to learn how to shut up, stop wagging your tongues, and submit. Area code 704. Area code 704.
Yes.
It is 6ix9ine. What's your name and where you calling from?
This is Tanika, and all I got to say is, did you come from a dysfunctional background?
Absolutely not.
Because I see something hurting inside of you. Something that may
Okay,
have
wait a minute, Tamika. Come on, please come better than that. I mean, really, just because a man is saying that, he sees
why are
an
you
issue
putting
with
out
sisters.
all sisters? You cannot say that. I think you come
Why
out
can't
wrong.
I say that? If the stereotype is there, if a large majority,
so
if
why are you
over 70%,
adding on to the stereotype?
Wait a minute.
Why are you adding on, brother?
If 70% of our women
so you got that from the European statistics? You got that from the European statistics? Where did you get that from?
Hey, hush. Listen, I'm going to talk to you.
No, you hush, baby. You can cut me off right now.
Family.
You can cut me off now because you're not going to tell me to hush.
No, what I'm saying is, if
I'm not these other bitches on the phone that's going to be quiet.
Okay, well, thank you, but I will answer your question and everything. Sorry, had technical difficulties, so sorry. 70% of sisters are having children out of wedlock. You're saying, well, you can't say that. Somebody needs to, because y'all punk asses think that you're all right, and you want to keep on finger pointing and blaming and everything like Sir Cherry said in the chat room. All I'm saying is, all I'm doing in this is holding up a mirror and letting you know this is what we see. This is what the world sees. And actually, the last caller, Tamika, you were just, you're the epitome of that. Okay? And Scholar, if you tell me, I see you. I'm going to have you in a second. You're the epitome of that because you're angry, and that's why you're probably single. Because you're going to try and tell somebody, you're going to try and psychoanalyze me and say, well, you must have a dysfunctional childhood and everything. I don't have to be dysfunctional in order to see the truth. Sisters, I hate to, quote a movie line, but it seems y'all can't handle the truth. You're slacking off and you're not doing what you're supposed to, and, this is what happens. Our black families are falling apart. You are supposed to be the backbone, the heart of our families. And I'm sitting here holding a mirror up and saying, hey, how do you like what you see? And all you guys are doing is saying, you're just an angry black man, or, it's a man's fault and everything, instead of actually taking the time to look into your hearts. Now, everybody, the next thing that comes up is, oh, well, that's not me. Yeah, it's your sister. If 70%, and that is a U.S. Census statistic, of all black children are born out of wedlock, there's something wrong. And the relationships are supposed to be your stronghold, ladies. That's where you're supposed to thrive. That's what I talk to women all the time, and they say, I want a man. I want to be in a relationship. I want to get married. I want to raise my family. I want stability, security, all these. You want. But you're not getting it, and there's a reason why, because you're not giving what you're supposed to. That nurturing, peaceful, loving self, that queen that can sit on her throne, and the man will sit there and want to move mountains for you. No man wants to move a mountain for a bitching harridan. Come on, ladies. I'm going to take another caller now. Let's see. Area code. I believe this is my buddy over here. Area code 708. Area code 708.
Hey,
can
what's
you
up,
hear me?
Man? I can hear you.
Hey, what's going on? Who is this?
It's a Scholar 2414, man.
Hey, what's going on, Scholar? How you doing, bro?
Oh, man, I'm chilling, man. I'm loving the topic. Loving the topic.
Well, all right, but, and Tamika, if you stay on the line, I'm going to come back to you. But, this is my show. You will respect me on my show, or we will have some more technical difficulties. So, Tamika, you're actually back in and everything if you have something you want to say.
Well, let's draw the lines here. How about we respect each other?
No. How about it's my show, my rules?
Well, it's your show, but we have to have respect. That's the foundational part of it. We have to have respect.
I'm not cursing at you. I'm not telling you that you were
either,
brought up poorly.
I'm just heated
Sister,
because
I'm in the middle of
talking.
A man is talking. So I am saying,
I'm a woman talking. I'm a goddess.
You.
I'm the goddess of this.
All right.
Goddess.
Damn.
Goddess.
I lost her. I lost her, man. I am so sorry. I lost her. She fell off. I had serious technical difficulties, and her line actually went dead. Tamika, I invite you to call back. That wasn't intentional.
Okay, what we need is to stop bringing kitty logic to a grown folk situation.
Right.
Enough of that.
All right,
enough
so
of these topics.
tell me this, one man to another, am I being totally off base? Am I saying something that isn't true, that men don't talk about and that we don't think?
No, you're not. We talk about this all the time. Like you say, in the past tense, they were these things. But you have to understand that you're dealing with, not all, because if the all police come out, I'm going to shoot their ass. You're dealing with a group of women, and it's just not black women, but you're dealing with a society of women that have really lost themselves, lost their senses, and don't know who the hell they are. So and you show them this mirror, and they don't like what they see. So, they become delusional and say, that's not me, that's them. They bring this kitty logic and say, it's not my fault, it's their fault. You are a grown person.
I know you are, but what am I?
I know you are, but exactly. That's not what grown folks do. That's not what it means to be a mature adult.
Right.
All these titles,
so,
I'm a goddess, I'm a diva. Come on. No, you are none of those things. You are not divine. You don't even know what the title of a goddess really means, because a goddess is a servant upon her subjects, a servant to her worshipers. Also,
okay, everybody always tell me this. I'm going to say, go ahead, preach, bro.
Serving up to her subjects. That's what it is to be a queen. To play your position. In chess, the queen's the most powerful piece on the board. But the game is over if the king is checkmated.
There you go.
I mean, you're not saying nothing that we don't talk about. We are not bashing women. They just don't want to face the truth. All this time we have heard black men ain't shit, black men don't do this, black men don't do that, but now we see all these 70% of them are single, 40% of them are never going to get married, 70% of them are overweight or morbidly obese, 70% of them are having out-of-wedlock births. Something is wrong with this picture, and you can't blame men on this time if it just seems like their favorite number is 70 right about now.
Yeah, basically. All right, check it out. I'm going to bring another caller in. Area code 404. Who's this? 404?
Is that me again?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. First of all, I agree with you, 6'9". In the context...
Who's this?
Jolly.
Jolly, okay. I'm sorry about that, sweetie. My switchboard has been going crazy. I've been trying to get you back in. Go ahead, sweetie.
I agree with almost all of what you're saying, and I appreciate you saying it. It takes a while to understand what you're saying because you lead with such ridiculousness that when you filter it down to the essence of what you're saying, yes, it is true. Women seriously do need to stop the 90% of the bullshit that's going on, and we need about 10% just, to keep zest in our lives. But 90% of it is, you're right. You're very right. Women have got to take, because what you're saying is if you are a strong, independent woman, then you should be able to make the decision not to get pregnant by a loser-ass dude. And then once you do, if you're a strong, independent woman, you should be able to raise that child by yourself because you know he's a loser-ass dude.
Right.
I feel you. It's very true.
Okay. Thank you. I'm glad somebody's getting it now. My delivery is harsh. Some people say it's a little harsh at times, but it's not like I'm saying I'm making all this stuff up. You feel me? Hello?
Oh yeah, I definitely feel you.
All right. Hey, look, I'm going to bring you back in a second. I have to take my next to last break real quick. Sorry about that. I'm going to bring you back in a second. Everybody, we're going to listen to one more song. Well, we're going to listen to 2 songs, and we'll be back right after this. All right, everybody. Sorry about that. It's Blog Talk Radio. Technical difficulties abound. I am back in, but my switchboard is locked up, so it looks like I am not going to be able to get to everybody. I'm going to keep trying as we go through this, but as I'm waiting for, I'm refreshing like there's no tomorrow. A lot of sisters are sitting here during the course of this, and you're doing exactly what I and many people were expecting that you were going to do, which is try and deflect the blame and say, well, what about the men? And if a man did this, then I wouldn't respond this way, or we have a right to be angry, or we have a right to be bitter, and all of this litany of excuses. Next week's show, we're going to address, that war cry that, a lot of sisters have been using, black men ain't shit. That's next week's show. This week's show, was basically all centered around sisters starting to take some accountability for your own actions and stop trying to do the victim card and, 6'9", you shouldn't say that. That's not nice and everything. We got to this point because everybody keeps being nice and everybody keeps telling sisters that, no, you're strong, you can do it all, girl. We all need each other. And black men need sisters to step up, not into our position, not into our shoes. We need to step up into the position that God created for you. If you believe in God, there it is. A lot of people want to bring religion into this. All of these sisters calling in bitter and angry and everything. I'm like, go read your own daggone Bible. And don't start quoting the verses that says a man needs to be following and you need to be covered and everything. Just cover the ones that cover you. And how you're supposed to respond and what your role is in a relationship. You are not supposed to be running things. And I'm saying it very basically. You're not supposed to know your position and play it. A lot of sisters have gotten into, competing with men, and, women's lib wasn't for black women. I'm sorry. You guys just got tailed along with it and bamboozled into thinking it was for you. And look what it's done to our families. Brothers need strong black women back, not this new breed of the brittle strength that you guys show now, and we need that deep, true, tempered strength that, as a couple other callers had said, that goddess or the queens of old and everything. We want you to return, and we want you, but a queen is, as somebody in the chat room had said, a servant of her people, just like a king is. You have to submit. You have to understand what your role is and play it. In football and basketball, everybody has a role that they need to play. And, the coach's role is to coach. The quarterback's role is to quarterback. If the quarterback decides he wants to go out and start throwing blocks and everything, it's not going to work. So I'm not going to get into a lot of sports analogies because I am talking to women, even though there are a few. Diva 36, 26, 36. I know you know what I'm talking about as far as the sports, but check it out, sisters. Brothers, this whole conversation has been really based around, look, we're sick of it. And it's been pointing it out and trying to tell you guys, all right, these are the flaws that we see. We're getting tired of it. We'd like you to make a change without depending on us to change something, without coming back to the man, well, if you do this, I'm going to do this. No tit for tat. Just change because you want our families to work again. A lot of sisters that I talk to are stuck on BB Boulevard, Bitterbridge Boulevard, because of failed relationships, bad choices on their part, bad dudes that they hooked up with. There's multitude of reasons, I understand. But you can't keep, letting that dictate how you move forward and not looking at yourself in the mirror. I've seen a lot of people in the chat room, no, I'm not like that. No, you're not making any sense. No, you just bitter and, they're trying to put it all off on me. I don't deal with all the childishness and the flip backs, okay? You guys sit there and you say you're the backbone of the family. Be the backbone. Don't try and be the head. Don't sit there with them. No, I'm the neck. I can turn the man any which way I want. Yeah, you can. But, there's a way to go about it, ladies. Try the gentle approach. My grandmother used to say you catch more, you catch more flies or bees with honey than with vinegar. Sisters, come on, tone it down. We love y'all and everything, but we're sick of it. We want to succeed. We want our families back together. We men love to have the opportunity to raise our children in being in loving and nurturing environments. A lot of you sit over there, men don't want to do it. No, they do. Real men. We want to be able to teach our sons how to be men. Because, sorry, ladies, you can't teach a man how to be a man. You see the results of manhood training, but you don't know how to do it. So it goes back to you. You're the core of our relationships, so it's back on you. You pick up the burden that you're supposed to have. Keeping a family together, bringing peace to your man, strengthening him, encouraging him, getting him out there and all that kind of stuff, being the nurturer, raising the children, all those things. You keep trying to fit into a man's role and into his position. This is what happens. You have children that are going to prison for life before the age of 17. Disrespectful. I'm not going to sit there and say, you make them gay, but, the gay population is growing leaps and bounds. If that's a problem for you, great. If not, hey, whatever. You'd have children that are sitting over there robbing and beating the elderly. And a lot of it is, they mimic what they see. And if your daughter is sitting there watching you bitch and complain about your baby daddy and he ain't shit, and your son is sitting over there listening to you, men ain't shit, all this kind of stuff, and watching you spread your legs to every Tom, Dick, and Harry, every 6-month relationship and all that kind of stuff, because you're selfish and you just want to get laid and you want to be like a man. You're not built to spread your seed, ladies. And what you're doing is you're sitting over there instilling a bunch of false information into your children, and it ends up coming up. They come up, they turn into these 21, 22-year-olds that don't know how to act, having babies already, 15, 16 years old, got 2 kids already. You know, girls spreading their legs. Well, I'll just get a man and not get him to pay child support. Doesn't make any sense. And all that's coming from the mother. Yes, you need a father in the household. In order to get a father in the household and to stay with you, you have to make better choices, ladies. So I apologize that we couldn't get more folks involved in the conversation. I still have like 20 or so callers that have their hands raised, and my switchboard is just totally locked up on me. So my apologies to everybody. I see the chat room jumping and everything. Here's what we're going to do. Next week, we're going to continue this conversation along with the Black Men Ain't Shit conversation, and we're going to kind of combine them, and I'm going to extend the show out to a 3-hour show. So everybody that did not get a chance to call in tonight, you know, and did not get a chance to speak your mind and be heard, feel free to give a call next week, and I will make sure that I get you in. Shout-outs. Diva362636, always a shout-out to you, Ames Bell. Madison Media. Wow. I can't go through the whole list of everybody that was in the chat room today. Cache, Tamika, sorry we couldn't get you back in, sweetie, but next time, act like you got some sense when you call my show. You know? Anyway. Ladies, get it together and take a look in the mirror. It may not be you with all of the things, but 9 times out of 10, you match a couple of them. The angry, bitter attitudes need to go. If you don't want to be in a relationship, great. Go ahead, keep being your bitter, normal selves, and you can do it all. Not a problem. But if you do want a relationship, you might need to take a step back and do some self-analysis and make some changes, and you might end up holding on to a man longer than it takes for him to reach orgasm. So I am going to wrap this up now. I want to say to everybody, thank you. It's 2010. I appreciate everyone tuning in. I am enjoying Los Angeles. There are going to be some big, big things that are going to be announced in the next couple of months that I'm working on. You guys should be happy, and I really appreciate all of my new listeners and all of the listeners that came back since, early December, when I went on hiatus as I was making my trek across the country. I want to send a shout-out to my kids. I love you both, my daughter and my son. My daughter's 8, my son is 5. I love you both, and I know they're not listening to this, but they can listen to the last little bit. But the rest of the show, I'm trying to raise my kids right, y'all. So I am going to sign off. This has been the 2010 January 10th episode of No Cut Cards. Next week, Black Men Ain't Shit. And I am going to, the week after that, we're going to be having a special celebrity guest. You guys will really enjoy that one. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to steal my man's line. Take care of yourself and each other. And y'all heifers need to get your act together because I'm tired of having this conversation with y'all. Peace out.